Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be. Stamp collecting is fun, and we've got SA here, which may stand for South Africa or South Australia. I think it's South Africa. There's a bag that I've come across which needs to be emptied and looked at. Stamps on paper. But before we start that, a couple of things to show you. First of all, we have this here, which was used in order to be delivered of some Jamaica stamps. I could not help myself. I had to, for the price, I just had to buy those stamps. Only about 20 of them, but I wanted to add to my Jamaica collection. Got a bit excited, and they were sent to me using this stamp, so second class stamp. So I've got a stamp for free, if you will. Slight damage there, but a nice date there, stamp date. Turn it over, I'll put the date on it, so it will go into my GB Great Britain collection. It's a sand bear spider, Arctosa parita. Is it dangerous? Probably not, but you never know. Second thing I should tell you is that Brother Tweezer has had some more, so you better behave yourself. Are you listening? Yes, I am. Because I've got 3 other tweezers here. From B&M's. In real, anyway, I thought, well, I'll buy them. It's another price on them, so I asked my buddy who was with me, I said, how much will these cost? And he said, about £1.25. Anyway, they cost me £1.20. So not bad. £1.20 for 3. So if I... there's different sort of shapes. But I like these. It was the fear of losing these. I lost them last time. And you don't lose them, you put them down. But at my age, things disappear. Right, let's tip these out. Get rid of that. And I say South Africa because I saw this. It is a page with South Africa on it. So where is South Africa? Or what is it? Well, it used to be, so this is an old page, it was a dominion under the dominion of the British Empire, constituted in 1910 by the Union of the Colonies of Cape of Good Hope, Natal, Transvaal and Orange River. So you can get stamps, and I do have 1 or 2 stamps from Cape Hope. I've got a letter from Natal. I don't think I've got Transvaal stamps. I may have. Orange River I certainly haven't. Capital is Pretoria. Stamps first issued 1910. And 12 pence equals 1 shilling in their monetary system, same as Britain. And here we have King George the Sixth, his coronation stamp. And here we have the very famous, very popular and very common sailor stamp. Now here we've got, so that's what's been printed on the sheet. Now here we've got someone's been rifling through and taking out stamps, which is what happens whenever you buy an album, a second-hand album. It's probably third or fourth hand. They take the good stuff and leave the other stuff. But I'm not, it's their property. They can do whatever. I could take stuff out. I mean, I may. I mean, say I wanted a single and then I wanted a double. Well, this one. Say I wanted one that was like, oh, it's grey rather than black. So there's 2 different sorts there. You sort of, as it's my sort of property, I tend to leave them as they are because I do like things to live in the wild. It is my property, so I don't criticise anyone for taking stuff out, but buyer beware as usual. So remove that away and have a look at some stamps from the Great Republic of South Africa as it is now. Well, that's at a chunk taken out of it. It's a 2p. Now what you could do, or what is possible, is you could tear that away and you've got a better example than that. Put that in the bin. Or you keep it as a double, but it's worthless as it is. What I would be tempted to do if I wanted that stamp, and I feel that these stamps go back in the bag after, I don't want to start another collection, I would separate them myself, but that's me. Those are not on paper. This is on paper, so this is the Republic of South Africa. SRA, 4 cent. So they've dropped the pound and they've gone into the cents. Here we have Zuid-Afrika. Is the Gestandaardiese Pos, standardised mail. Gestandaardiese Pos. How is my South African? How is my South African? Gestandaardiese Pos. Let me know. I'm sure I'm butchering that very fine language. Now we've seen these on the page before. Here they are again. It looks like a pirate ship, doesn't it? It's a Pew. It is Zuid-Afrika. And it's got Posso. It's got something that I can't read. But there's another one of those that's quite nice as well. Yes. Now then, we've got the zebra is an exceptionally common, a very fine stamp. It's a very fine stamp indeed. Not that, but the way it's produced. As is that. Look at that. And of course, South Africa is full of game, or animals, as they are now. Creatures. God's own creatures. So there's some nice older ones. There's gold mine. Gold. Gold. Can it be true? Gold. South Africa are very famous for gold. A rhino. I would think that would be an independent, Republic of South Africa stamp rather than anything of any age, and more in the way of that. Also, we've got some nice 12.5 cents, so that's been on a big old envelope, sending somewhere. Of course, what I would do, I quite like that. Look at that. What I would do is I'd trim that a little bit to neaten it up. If I was going to mess with them, there will be a time when I come back to these and I start to separate them and possibly do something with them. So a lot of these. That's a better example. You can see the creatures clearly now. So that's nice. I've not seen that stamp before. Again, the elk or the ibex. Possibly the ibex rather than the elk. The elk is a ridiculous thing to say. Yeah, there's some beautiful stamps that I have not seen on them. I haven't seen that one before. What have I been doing? And the colours are superb. 2 colours. So we're sort of possibly between the wars, maybe. I haven't done any research as per usual. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Look at him. Now, isn't that something? Look at the tusks on him. Wunderbar. Wunderlich. That. Out of Africa. More gold. Gotta be Air Force, hasn't it? War stamp. A couple of planes. Pilot. I'd have thought so. Bees. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a creature, if it's advertising creatures. or fruit. There's a lot of these shilling stamps in here, which would have been quite a lot of money back in those days. So these may have come from some sort of office or from someone who had money. 2 and 6, that's 2 shillings and sixpence. Back to the shilling again. A lot of money. 2D. 2D or not 2D? Oh, let's come off, and what have we got on the other side? Pretoria. Was Pretoria named after the Praetorian Guard in Rome? I'd put it out there. Rugby, 95, so celebrating the Rugby World Cup, I would suggest. More rhinoceroses. Rhinosaurus. Rhino is the nose. And saurus, I think, is the... it's got that thing sticking out. It's got that thing sticking out of its nose, isn't it? Or by his nose, growing out of his nose. There's that famous. Here's the Republic of Ireland. I don't know what that's doing in there. I think I may keep that one out for my own... Just my own use. I'm not doing anything with this. For my own use, that's all. 1 shilling postage. Ooh, look at these. Look at those birds. Are there birds there really that colour? Really? Honestly. And look at that fish. Now, yes, I would admit there are fish that colour. But what are those birds? Are they exaggerating a tad? Christmas mail early postage. Oh, stork. And another fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. We also have art. Airmail post. Famous buildings. Post office in Durban. Big one. Post was a big old thing. Then email came along. Now it's text. Then it was text. Now it's messaging. Where to next? I don't know, do you? Should we hazard? Shall I have a little guess where we can go after? Well, one time we used to talk to people. I don't know. The death of Dr. Livingstone, Zambia, which I think is northern Rhodesia. Look at that. That's a belter of a stamp. I've never seen such a thing. Good old Livingstone. Scottish doctor. More birds. There's something happening. Art again, I would suggest. We're coming to that and finally moment, so we'll finish maybe with this. Johannesburg, nice cancel there. Almost clear. 1986. Johannesburg. I like a cancel. Here's another one. So if I do like cancels. Here's another one. Durban. So I would probably trim those and put them in my cancel collection. Look at that. Look at that beauties, aren't they? The more modern you get, the more you get flowers and plants, birds, rocks and things. Sand and hills and rings. Plants, cabbages and kings. Something hatching from an egg. It's all very nice. A woolly sheep. All very nice and harmless, you may say. where the stamps of old tend to be more, well, historical and all that entails. Thanks for watching, everybody. That is now Stamp Collecting is Fun. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Or I'll replace you. Goodbye. And I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye for now.